what's happening, everyone? It is I, the man, the myth, the mustache, Tim here with a brand new video for you. Welcome to Season 2, Part 1 of What If My Hero Academia Had a Suicide Squad. Please sit back and relax because you're in for a treat. With that little intro out of the way, let's get the story going, shall we? Channel 6 News was located at Deku City in the Aichi Prefecture. It was here that the Meta Liberation Army was headquartered. The trip would take at least 8 hours by normal conventional means, such as car, bus, etc. However, Bad Company was anything but conventional, backed by the Hero Public Safety Commission via Under the Table. The Havoc was immune to mild annoyances such as speed limits and other annoying traffic laws. The vehicle's hollow emitters changed every few minutes or so, from a small convoy of trucks to random civilian vehicles such as cars and motorcycles. To be fair, the human mind is easily fooled with some of the most simple of deceptions, one of which was achieved easily and most commonly used by the team. The slower something changed, the easier it was to blend in with the surrounding area. Ah! Ooh! Ah! The man on the passenger side of Hawks, codenamed Leader 1, was slowly losing his mind. Bad Company now went by codenames. Whether it was the Warden's idea or Leader 1 was still debatable. However, the fact of the matter was as followed. Bad Company's dealings with the Shadow Broker, aka Jiren, had garnered the Warden more caution within his operations. When on the field, Bad Company would only communicate with each other via their codenames. Quiet and quit your babbling. That was Overhaul, codename Plague Raven, as he kicked the back of Gentle Criminal's chair. Relax, pretty bird, Hawks said with coolness of a cucumber. With the AI assist, you're perfectly safe. You turn the blasted thing off! Gentle Criminal, now codenamed Pretty Bird, nearly leapt out of his seat to strangle Hawks. He was caught by his seatbelt as he nearly choked himself out. Oh, yeah, that's right. Leader 1 gave a mischievous smile, then made a sharp left, then began weaving in and out of traffic. Leader 1, can I just choke him out? Just this once. Pretty Bird turned in his chair and looked directly at Plague Raven, completely appalled. What? It's not like I was gonna kill you. As amusing as that would be. Leader 1 let out a chuckle, to which the proper villain failed to find it humorous. This is the only way he'll learn. And then what exactly, Commander? Pretty Bird slowly turned his head towards Hawks. How to Tita on the edge of getting a freaking heart attack? Among other things, Pretty Bird. But, as Eraserhead always says, Hawks immediately jerked the wheel to the left and then to the right, drifting the road Leviathan along particularly sharp turns. You gotta keep that fight or flight response active at all times. Oh my god! The sharp-dressed squadmate turned pale as his entire life flashed before his eyes on repeat. His eyes then rolled to the back of his head. Ha! Plague Raven laughed as he watched Pretty Bird's vitals. He passed out. What a pansy! Come on now, Plague Raven. You know that's not true. The former Yakuza boss waved Leader 1's comment off. Plague Raven then rolled his eyes as he fell back onto his seat. Curious, though. Pretty Bird should be used to this. Bad Company's commander said as he shook his head in disbelief. I mean, the way he bounces off those trampolines of his, a little speed and drifting shouldn't faze him. Suddenly, a hollow screen popped up with Muscular's face on it. Unlike the others, he was lacking a codename. Leader 1 had yet to come up with one. Not that I'm complaining about your driving skills. Muscular moved to the side, revealing Stain, codenamed Robin, losing his lunch in a bag. But apparently our little Robin here is getting motion sickness. Oh snap! I forgot to engage the smart suspension. Yeah, that was a lie. With the press of a button on the touchscreen, Leader 1 engaged it, and suddenly, all was still. The vehicle's AI had rebooted with the suspension coming on, much to the disappointment of the winged hero. Ah, well, it was fun while it lasted. Hawks gave a sad, pouty face for the camera. Though the sad birdie could not drift anymore, the vehicle did not slow down for a second. They were still about 3 hours from Deku City. On the holoscreen, Hawks could see Robin finally stop emptying out the contents of his stomach. Surprisingly enough, Muscular helped him to lay down in the ATV. Aw, it warms my heart to see my little birdies getting along. The winged hero chuckled as his heart was warmed and he increased the Havoc's speed. "Shut the hell up, Hawks!" Robin said, putting his arm over his eyes. Hawks was about to correct him about his name, but decided to let it go. "At least the trailer stopped moving." "Muscular, get him some ginger ale." The commander hit a button on the touchscreen, and a mini cooler popped up near the front of the ATV. "I need my little Robin's tummy to feel better about the upcoming mission." "Screw you, Leader One!" The hero killer managed to call out with a snarl. His stomach was killing him as he laid on his side. How come I don't have a bird name like the rest of you guys?" Muscular spoke curiously, grabbing a ginger ale out of the cooler and handing it to a grateful Robin. "I haven't thought of a proper one yet for you, big guy." The commander gave Muscular a small smirk, followed by a finger gun with a wink and tongue click. "Why can't I be Pretty Bird?" This was genuinely bothering Muscular, though he never was one for nicknames. He also didn't like being left out. If the others had bird names, he wanted one too. "Because you just dress in a trench coat with no style, unlike Pretty Bird," the winged hero pointed out as suddenly an electronic buzzing overtook their transport before cutting off at the end of the trailer. "Hey, big guy, how does buzzard sound to you?" Muscular approved. Static crackled then sparked as Leader One and Plague Raven looked up with wide eyes. The hologram concealing them shattered like glass. Their mouths went dry as the Havoc then entered the mountain tunnel. Another buzz, and Bad Company's comlinks went out, followed by Muscular on the holoscreen blinking out. The road behemoth slid to a halt as the vehicles around them began to blip out of existence. I gotta read this. I'm still not recovered from the Havoc. Oh god. This video was sponsored by NordVPN. Yeah. Staying safe online is an ever-growing difficulty, and hackers could exploit you. They won't exploit me. They gotta get past my blades first. Anyway, NordVPN allows you to change your IP address, making you harder to track, securing your privacy. In addition to providing you with safe passage through the web, you can also expand the reach of your favorite streaming services. Are you tired of going through 2, 3, or even 4 streaming services to watch your favorite anime? Oh god. Well, with NordVPN, you can change your country and be able to binge shows like My Hero Academia. Check it out. Check it out. Stain's in there. Yeah. Not Naruto. Oh, that show's pretty good. They copied my moves. And many others on your favorite streaming services. Oh god, I'm gonna pass out. With just a push of a button. Check out the link in the description to get 72% off when buying for 2 years at $3.29 a month. This deal is for a limited time, however. Unlike my vengeance on Hero Society. Oh god. And thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this. That's not good, Plague Raven said as the LEDs on his arms blipped out. Yo, Leader One, we got a problem here. The commander turned his head to the back of the cab. Overhaul used his head to gesture to his arms. Shit! The hero's eyes widened to the size of saucers as he desperately began to push buttons on the touchscreen, but to no avail. Shit! Leader One then checked his detonator. It was intact and working. He then unbuckled and got out of the seat, only for bullets to pelt the windscreens. Hollow point tips impacted in spiderweb clusters throughout the entire anti-projectile treated tripolymer alloy windows. They all were safe inside for now, as the commander hit the manual override to the back trailer. Leader One then quickly made his way through the accordion transition to the back end of the vehicle. The fuck's going on, Hot Wings? Hawk stared at Buzzard's collar. The LED was still red. Yeah, I'm still restrained, so I'll ask again. Ambush. The commander's word was flat and straight to the point. How many? The muscle-bound Buzzard matched his tone word for word. Unknown. The winged hero instinctively protected himself with his wings as he heard SMG firepower ricocheting off the vehicle's armor. He then turned, gesturing with his head to the Nomu. The hell's wrong with Big Bird?
I could give you a list with that broad statement.
Buzzard raised his hand and forced a chuckle as Leader One narrowed his eyes.
He just shut down. It's like someone flipped his bloody switch and turned him off.
Son of a... that makes two. Japan's #2 hero realized the gravity of his situation was quickly becoming more and more dire by each passing second. Blake Raven's arms are down.
So, how many?
The hero killer already braced himself for the worst case. Of us? The commander shook his head and gave them the truth. Me, you, Buzzard, and someone needs to wake Pretty Bird.
Decent odds. I'll wake Pretty Bird.
The pumped-up villain smirked as he made his way to the front cab. As soon as he crossed into the transition, 4 RPGs struck the Havoc, flipping it onto its side, causing Pretty Bird to awaken with a squawk.
He's awake now,
the villain said, rubbing his now aching head. Buzzard then followed his actions by squeezing his eyes to will away the pain that was currently ringing in his ears at the moment.
Anyone? Leader One? Robin? Ah!
The hero killer groaned. He was trapped under the toppled-over ATV.
I'm alive. Pretty Bird?
In truth, Robin forgot his name. Alive? What of the commander? The proper villain shook his head as warning lights started to blink rapidly from underneath his skin. A week ago. The shadow broker, aka Jiren, had just posted bail. His barristers were the best Japan had to offer. That, and he held most of their secrets, along with the judges, who sped along his race to freedom. The limo that picked him up from his luxury stay at Hotel Tartar was on its way to his penthouse in downtown Tokyo. In his limo was another one of his barristers, along with an envelope pre-stamped Media Mail on the small table in front of him. With a smile upon his lips, Jiren wrote his letter to Overhaul. The barrister was here to make sure it was mailed off promptly. After being dropped off at his penthouse, Jiren made his way up to his private elevator. Tipping the bellhop guarding its entrance, he entered, scanned his eye and biometrics, and was taken to his intel room. From there, he retrieved the thumb drive he was looking for upon entering the room. Jiren then loaded it up with intel on Bad Company's next mission. He then made a quick 10-second call to the Channel 6 reporter Kazuki Chitose's office. His objective completed, the shadow broker then sent the thumb drive overnight to her. 24 hours later, 749,642,500 Japanese yen, or $5 million US, was transferred to his offshore account, where it was then sent into the ether to be diversified. Kazuki Chitose was the face of Channel 6 News. She was also second in command of the MLA. Her natural charisma, charm, and alluring looks could hypnotize the common man, woman, or child without them knowing it. This was not her quirk, however, but rather, it just came to her naturally. People wanted to trust her. Thus, this was how she swayed the masses and rallied support to the MLA. Set up an ambush at Showeisha Tunnel, she ordered a set of commanders within her ranks. The shadow broker sent us some interesting intel on the League of Villains' new Bad Company. Permission to terminate, the commander on the right inquired, to which Kazuki, codename Curious, mused over. Bring Overhaul to me alive. Have fun. She'd been wanting revenge on that bloody Yakuza asshole, and it was now finally time for a little payback. Her recovery took weeks, and Curious had almost lost her job at Channel 6. Despite being number 2 in the MLA leadership rankings, being in the limelight was her passion. An exhibitionist at heart, she craved the attention. Curious loved making love to the camera that she adored so much. Nothing could set her off more than engaging the masses and having all eyes on her. The MLA was just a means to an end to get her more screen time. Yes, sir. With that, the guards were dismissed to gather their squads. From their commander's debrief, it was a team of 6, one of which being the former number 2 hero. From what they gathered, it seemed that the League of Villains was now trying to capture the MLA's second-in-command. Jiren was not stupid enough to cross the warden, but he also needed to keep his business going as well. If it so happened that the LOV would take the broad end of it, oh well. There was profit to be made, and they would pay for it in blood. Their blood. Jiren, you better be right on him being there, or so help me, I will personally come up to that penthouse of yours and blow your balls up! In Jiren's penthouse, the Shadow Broker sneezed, and then felt a pain in his manhood. One thing that did not fare well with Curious was bad intel. As a reporter, it was a slap to her face. She had credibility and a reputation to uphold. As she sat at her desk, Curious tapped a few keys on her encrypted PC's keyboard. The monitor's screen then booted up in 6 sections, the dossiers of all the members of Bad Company. With an evil grin, Curious moved her mouse over Overhaul's profile and clicked it. It filled her screen as the MLA's second-in-command began to scroll through it. Her grin deepened as it crept its way up her lips as the dossier mentioned the loss of his quirk and his arms. She then got to the part where Jiren's intel revealed that the League of Villains had restored his arms with some sort of advanced cybernetic prototypes. He may have been quirkless now, but this made him dangerous. She knew that the LOV and Overhaul had a bad falling out, but why restore him? Even more so, why even work with him again? So many questions, and she needed them all answered. And that feathery collar jacket-wearing bastard was going to give them to her. After which, she was going to use her quirk on his head and slam it against a wall for what he did to her. Presently. At Showeisha Tunnel, the Havoc was still on its side with the MLA soldiers closing in. Bad Company was hurting bad. Hawks was down. That meant the squad's lives were now on a timer. The blinking red lights under their skin meant termination if communication with Tartarus was not restored. It didn't matter if they could get to the detonator. Hawks' biometrics prevented tampering. Even if they got his hand to scan, it would pick up his heart rate along with other vitals. Those vitals would then reveal that Hawks was unconscious and knocking on heaven's door. Collectively, Bad Company cursed. This was the worst way to meet their end. And that's our video for the day, so thank you all for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, before I go, there's a little bit of housekeeping I want to go over with you all. First, if you're in the mood for some more great storytelling, then We the Celestials has you covered. Our We the Celestials, My Hero Academia, and Naruto What If channels retell the story of their namesake anime with a twist. Check it out if you're interested for more. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I want to thank everyone involved in today's excellent content production. Their details can be found in the description below. Give some love to the writer, the audio editor, and the video editor. They do a lot of work here. And if you like what we do here with the Celestials, then I want to extend an invitation to join our team. We only have one caveat: you must be 16 years or older to join our crew. You can sign up for whichever category fills your interests by joining the recruitment Discord using the link in the description below. But that's it for today's video, so thank you all for watching and have an amazing day. And as always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and stay awesome. This has been Tim. Mustache out.